Maki paused, however. It was an odd thought that had been brought to her attention. Friends? She had people she would say she had been close to back at the orphanage, but not really friends. The idea that her first real foray into friendship would be in the midst of this killing game was utterly ridiculous, and yet the proof was in the pudding. She had chosen to reveal Shuichi's secret to the others, for their benefit as well as the black-haired boys. And she had been telling the truth about her regret she couldn't have talked to him about it first, though that was more a matter of courtesy. And she was continuing with nightly training, despite it not really doing anything for her. It was a time to be social, something that she never cared about indulging in before. Kaede was pleasant enough to be around, Shuichi was clever and good-hearted, and Kaito was an idiot. And yet, the thing she hated most about training was how little he seemed to be around for it. All the same, she couldn't really consider herself a friend to them, not while she lied about her true nature. If they knew she was an assassin, they'd surely try to keep their distance, even more so if they knew she was aiding Kokichi in his efforts. And most damning of all, what she had done earlier that day. Around noon that day, Miyu cracked her knuckles and prepared to begin. Then, her mouth was covered by a rag, the smell of it overpowering her. The inventor struggled desperately to escape her unseen attacker, kicking and scratching at nothing as her muscles slowly grew limp. Then, everything went dark. Maki released her hold on the now unconscious blonde, letting her collapse to the floor with a thud. The twin-tailed girl then snapped her fingers, signaling her partner in this crime. Kokichi walked forward, giving a small golf clap. You are very good at what you do.
You have 45 minutes until Kibo wakes up.
Maki replied curtly.
I'm not sure how long Aruma will be out.
45 minutes is 30 more than I'll need, Kokichi reassured. Your job's done. Go about your day.
Might I ask why you needed to do this?
Maki sneered. I think you'd prefer plausible deniability in this situation, Kokichi shot back.
That's my other question.
The assassin continued.
What makes you think you can get away with whatever it is you're doing?
If it comes to an investigation, I think I can count on you to keep Momota-chan distracted, Kokichi joked. Maki's glare grew sharp.
Do you want me to kill you?
Kokichi gave a glare of his own in return. Not just yet. The real problem is Saihara-chan. For all my hard work, I can't pin down his kryptonite. Maki began to leave the room. She knew she shouldn't. Technically, she couldn't, but she couldn't risk anyone finding out about all this. Kokichi seemed to have a plan to save everyone, and if Shuichi would be a risk to that...
He doesn't cope well.
Maki said. Kokichi quirked an eyebrow. What?
Just try to break him emotionally. That'll be easier than anything else.
The dictator grinned ear to ear. Thank you for your cooperation. Maki walked away in silence. She hadn't truly revealed Shuichi's secret, so she was safe on that front. However, given Kokichi's tendencies, it was quite clear he would take her advice too far. She was past the point of no return now. Shuichi had collapsed upon his bed the moment he arrived in his room. He lay still, motionless. Not a sound escaped from him, save for the light hints of his breathing. The fact that he had been able to walk back to his room after everything that had happened was nothing short of a miracle in his mind. His mind raced at Angie's words. He was used to people treating him differently when they found out about his condition. It was hardly pleasant, but he knew it was something subconscious that others couldn't control. Who was he to fault others for succumbing to their subconscious mind? But not trusting him? That didn't make any sense. Nothing about her story made sense. How could she learn his secret after he had already confessed about it to Monokuma? The only possibility was that Monokuma was lying about how the rules worked. Had he broken the rules of his own game? And if so, what had he told Angie?
Poor Saihara-kun. Feeling down?
The detective was at last roused from his stupor by an uninvited guest of an ursine nature. Monokuma? The black-haired boy exclaimed.
That's me!
The bear declared.
I just thought I'd check in on you. I figured you're pretty confused about what Angie said back there. And maybe I could shed some light on the situation.
You'd tell me what you told Angie? Why? Shuichi questioned.
Ever hear of not looking a gift horse in the mouth?
Monokuma warned.
But honestly, it's 'cause I like you, kid. I'm rooting for you.
This left Shuichi confused. Rooting for me? But I want to put a stop to your killing game.
Exactly! It's no fun without some competition, and you, sir, are doing pretty well for yourself. You know, other than that little episode you had earlier today.
So, what did you tell her? Shuichi asked. More than that, how could you tell her anything? I never told you any other secrets.
Well, I kinda bent the rules a little.
The headmaster admitted.
See, the thing of it is, after you learned the secret I told you in exchange for yours about your depression, another secret about you suddenly pops into being. Knowledge is power, kid, and you get a whole bunch of bolts after I blab to you.
The gears quickly began to turn in Shuichi's mind. The implications of Monokuma's words took shape and formed into an accusation. That was your goal from the start. You were just waiting for me to confess so you could change my secret and pass it to someone else. The bear cackled.
This is what I like about you. You actually see where I'm going with this. Now, I'm assuming you remember what I told you before?
Shuichi went quiet, a bead of nervous sweat dripping down his brow.
I'll take that as a yes.
Monokuma commented.
Well, keep that in mind, because the moment you heard that little factoid, your darkest secret suddenly became...
Monokuma cleared his throat before continuing.
Shuichi Sayada has all the clues he needs to learn the mastermind's true identity. But he refuses to actually do anything with them.
Shuichi's mouth went dry upon hearing that. His worst fears seemed all but confirmed now.
Well, I think I've said all I need to. See you in the morning. Sleep tight.
Monokuma quickly left the room, leaving Shuichi alone with an even worse train of thought running through his mind. Of course he remembered the secret he learned. How could he forget? And if that meant he now knew everything he needed to know? He shivered. The moment played back in his mind. A few days prior.
Depression, eh? Interesting.
Monokuma muttered. So, now you know, Shuichi said, dejected. Or, I guess you already knew.
That I did, but now I don't get to spread it around.
Monokuma reminded him, giving him an attitude that vaguely resembled one attempting to console another.
Anyway, now for the fun part!
I don't suppose I could skip this? Shuichi wondered aloud.
Nope! I've been holding on to this one just for you, buddy!
Monokuma replied, positively giddy. Just for me?
Of course!
Monokuma cheered. He took a breath before saying the words that would shake Shuichi to his very core.
Kaede Akamatsu forced her way into this killing game against my initial decision.
What does that?
It means I had a slightly different group of students lined up, and Akamatsu-san decided she wanted in on the fun.
Monokuma clarified. But why would she doesn't. She's wanted to stop. I don't.
Knew this one would be good. Now, get moving. I got other people to talk to.
Shuichi went silent as he made his way out of the booth. He didn't respond to the art club when they asked him how he felt. It was a while before he said anything after that. It was too much to bear. Kaede had come into the killing game by choice. That was the last clue he needed. She chose to be here against Monokuma's will. Monokuma had said he would prefer to keep the mastermind away from the actual game, and Kaede had shown in the past she was willing to do some shady things to get what she wanted. It can't be, Shuichi muttered. She can't be the mastermind. How he wished he believed that. Surviving students. 10. End of chapter 31.